Hello, I'm Elias Johnson-Youngquist, Youth Minister here at First Lutheran Church, and this is your FLC Now for February 19th, Friday. Yes, we are in the full swing of Lent. Ash Wednesday was just a couple days ago, and that means that our first communion classes for fifth graders are going to be kicking off soon. In 2 weeks, we'll meet together to do such things as learn about what communion is, make these awesome bowl and chalices. This one is one I made. Didn't do great, but I made it. And that'll all culminate on Maundy Thursday when we actually have their first communion. Well, this is a good time as any to recap what it is we're talking about when we talk about sacraments. There are, take a wild guess how many sacraments? 2-ish sacraments. And that's almost even how Luther writes about it. So there are 2-ish sacraments. But what is a sacrament? A sacrament is any time that God is putting his word of promise, into a physical object to deliver to us. Now, he uses pastors for this sometimes, but just as much as it could be a big, beautiful baptismal font like this one, it could also be a bathtub and some water and grandma at home. Whatever it is, the important thing is actually God's word of promise that is being used there. The physical part is to just make sure that you know it took. So when we walk away from baptism, we can say, well, I don't know if it actually worked. I don't feel saved. Well, did you get wet? Well, then it worked. It actually got put on you. And the same way with communion. I don't feel forgiven afterwards. Well, did you eat it? Well, then it took. The second sacrament then is communion. And we in communion are recognizing that we are among those people that are sinners and betrayers of Christ in need of forgiveness. And there's so much more that could be said about both baptism and communion that I can't fit into this tiny little video. So much so that we in fifth grade have 3 or 4 or 5 weeks in there where we talk purely about communion. But it's always good to get a good recap. And you know what? I didn't even come up with most of these words. They're all in your small catechism. So bust open your old small catechism if you want to find out more. But I'm sure you're thinking, but Elias, you said there was an ish sacrament. And you're right. There is. Luther, when he was writing about the sacraments, came to confession and absolution. And he realized, okay, this is an ish sacrament because there isn't anything necessarily physical to confession and absolution, even though we practice it every week in church, and we practice it a lot, even when we don't realize it among ourselves, among our friends and family and community, where we say, you know what, this has been weighing on me. I think I hurt somebody, or maybe even you specifically in this way, and I'm in need of forgiveness. And we turn and say to that person, you're forgiven. But that doesn't quite fit as a sacrament, but it's something that we all do anyway. So Luther just left it in there as like a ish sacrament. So that's what we have time for about the sacraments. There's so many more questions out there. So if you're sitting there and wondering a little bit, come talk to one of us at the church or bust out a small catechism. We'd be glad to give you one or help you track down the one you got in your fifth grade communion class. All right. Hope you guys have a great week and talk to you soon.